Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1970 Seattle Pilots What If Scenario. Earlier today, we finished off the month of June, and so this video will be a summary of the season through the end of June. We will take a look at the standings, and we traditionally take a look at the league leaders. But I think this time around, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to look at the all-time leaders in every category. Which will include all of MLB history up until the year and a half that we started this sim, and then we accumulate those stats into the all-time leaders as well. And it'll be fun to kind of see how anything may or may not deviate because of what we're doing here with the sim. So I look forward to doing that myself. First of all, let's take a look here. We did finish up the month of June with a 500 record. We won today. Both of our runs scored were unearned. And so was our victory, really. We basically won because of a single error. There were no extra base hits in the ball game. A very frustrating victory, but we'll take it. It's always nice to finish at least at 500. In May, we finished 2 games above 500. Back in April, we were just terrible, right? So we are making, some progress at least, but I have a feeling that we are not going to, even be close to making the playoffs. We might not even be a 500 team when all is said and done. And so we flip the calendar to July. We have a series at home versus the Indians that will start tomorrow. We have a day off, and then we have a series in Oakland that will lead us to the All-Star break. The All-Star game will be played in Cincinnati. That's where it was in real life. When we did the All-Star game for last year, it was not accurate. So I'm assuming it will be accurate this year, as they will be playing it in Cincinnati. I guess we have to wait and see. And then there's a couple days off. We can use that rest. And then coming out of the All-Star game break, we got to play 6 games at home. And so on and so forth, with the end of the month being the trade deadline, July 31st. So what I'm thinking is that after the All-Star game is played, we'll advance all the way to the White Sox. And I think we'll do a separate video where we will start to siphon off all of our players who are free agents at the end of the year. So we'll do a separate video where we'll actually see the trades taking place. I'll show you how it works, and whether you can see for yourself the very few options that we have with our lowly rated players. Okay, so there's the month of July. I think we've summarized where we're at so far. We'll take a look at the standings. The American League, the Orioles are on a 10-game winning streak, despite having to manage their payroll a little bit more closely, as they're very likely to finish the year in the red. They're 2 games up on the Yankees. Washington has actually won 6 in a row right now. Oakland is on top by 5.5 games, and they just made a huge trade after the game earlier today. We'll take a look at that, I guess. And here we are, 10 games back of Oakland, with the White Sox now have lost 11 in a row, and they are doing everything they can to make us look good. Now we're batting, 248. We have 84 team home runs in 83 games played, and we have a 4.47 team ERA. So we don't really do anything well other than hit home runs, and we didn't even have a single home run in our 3-game series versus the Royals at home, where we should have just been tattooing it. So you'll see that even the last place Cleveland Indians have 101 home runs already this year. So there's your American League. Now, earlier, as I mentioned, Oakland pulled off a big trade, and that is Hank Aaron coming to the Oakland Athletics to play right field. Who's the odd man out? Hirschberger? Oh no, it's Reggie! Oh no! They got rid of they torched Reggie for Hank Aaron. Man, that's hardcore. I can't imagine that Reggie's got nowhere else to play but AAA. Right fielder. So he could play left. They might trade him. We might have to look. He's 24 years old with a 96 power. I don't know how we get him with that rating, but we may have to package something to get Reggie Jackson if the Oakland Athletics don't want him. But why would they trade him in division? That would be absurd. Looks like John Donaldson's already been banished. Oh, because they traded for Larry Boa, which means Bert Campaneris loses his job. They might trade him too. We've already got Belanger, but Bert Campaneris is way better than Belanger. That's kind of the absurdity of one of the many messed up things about this game, Baseball Mogul, is that they don't take into consideration any of that stuff. Yes, Hank Aaron at a 90 is an upgrade over Reggie Jackson at an 89. But why would you do that? And really, who's having the better season? It's arguable that it could be Reggie Jackson. He's got a 373 on base percentage. Anyway, we're spending a lot of time on this, and it's absurd. So I don't know what to say about that, other than it was a big deal earlier when we saw that get pulled off. Okay, let's look at the National League real quick. Freddie's Mets are in first place by 2.5 games over St. Louis. Montreal has now plummeted to 5th place. Now, they did just make that trade for Ron Santo. They got Santo and Boog. So maybe they may... Oh, but they have a bunch of injuries, right? Yeah. They lost Steve Rogers as a starter. Mike Wagner doesn't matter. Okay. So the Cubbies are sitting in last place. And then the Dodgers, with their 3-game winning streak, and the Astros losing 3, are now up 3 on Houston. The Giants have won 6 in a row. And you can see that the Padres are the worst team in baseball. It's going to take them a few years. It appears that they're trying to build their team through the draft. Okay, so there's the standings. Finances, the only reason I want to show this is just to reiterate the Baltimore Orioles already being in the red. And what that means is they will not be able to sign free agents or re-sign their free agents. They can re-sign arbitration or extend arbitration eligible players, but they're set to lose $500,000 this year. Their projected profit is negative $1.12 million, and their payroll is basically $1 million over. So I don't think they're done trading yet to jettison their payroll. And in fact, I would still probably bet my house on the Yankees winning that division because of that. Or they could just go for it and finish the year ineligible to sign free agents. You'll see down here that last year, we had an average attendance of 2,000 per game in our first year, even though we went to the playoffs. And this year, we've jumped up a little bit. We still have the worst attendance in the American League, but we expanded our stadium to 35,000, and we're at 16,000. We're making some profit. Every time I see that we're projected to make money, I go to our budget and look at the expenses, and I start to increase a couple $1,000s on each of our major categories where we allot money in order to try and keep our team healthy and to get our minor leaguers to increase their skill set. So anyway, we're not going to make a ton of money this year, and we have managed our payroll pretty well. We have the lowest payroll I guess the Royals have the lowest payroll in the American League. Okay, we don't need to look at the National League. I just wanted to show you the cash. Now let's take a look at the all-time league leaders. We have both leagues. We got from 1901 to 1970. I mean, yes, I can go through and choose all years or since the modern era, which is what we have, live ball era. I mean, we'll just do modern era, which is 1901 to 1970. All right. And so, I mean, there's not going to ever really be too many modern players that show up on this list of all-time batting average. I believe that if they're in yellow, they're in the Hall of Fame, at least in the game. I think that's how that works. And so, yeah, I want to say that Tony Gwynn finished with a batting average in the 320s, so maybe he might have edged his way on the list. But at least in this game, from 1901 to 1970, it's pretty much status quo. I mean, the player named Willie Wells played until 1950. Well, there's Stan the Man, so he's on there. From 63, Ted Williams played until 1960. So those are your most recent. Okay. I mean, that's all pretty much what we expect. All-time at-bat leader. So here we go. You can see that Willie Mays and Hank Aaron, who was just traded to Oakland, are the only active players on the list, and they're moving up. I don't think Aaron's going to get anywhere, but Willie Mays, who I think is still playing every day, right? Well, barely, it looks like. Oh, he's injured. That's what his problem is. So he's not gaining another spot this year, I don't think. So, I mean, Hank Aaron might be able to get past Willie Mays. Ty Cobb, of course, all-time leader, at least by 1970. We're going to do batters first, and then we'll do pitchers. Doubles, Hank Aaron's got 512 doubles. That's a Reggie Jackson number. He usurped Reggie Jackson on the team, and that could have been the home run total, but it's a double total. There's nobody else. So Hank Aaron, number 13 overall. He could probably get at least one more spot, maybe get past Ted Williams with around half a season to go. Grounding in the double plays, is that even a stat? I guess it is a compilation. Where Hank Aaron is number one on that. Roberto Clemente. I mean, these are just happen to be modern players who have had long careers already. Somewhat interesting. Extra base hits. Stan Musial, number one overall. Willie Mays, not compiling anything more. Hank Aaron probably won't get past Lou Gehrig. Frank Robinson's on the bench for Baltimore, so we're not going to see a lot of change there. Hits, here we go. Hits leaders. Pete Rose, not even on the list yet. Hank Aaron's over 3,000, and he'll probably finish the year 6th, as well as Mays finishing 7th. Mays had just passed Sam Rice before that injury. So that's pretty cool. All right. We have hit by pitch. Well, Frank Robinson, 149, as Minnie Minoso has 195 all time. So that's the only active player. Home runs. Here we go. Babe Ruth, still the all-time home run leader in 1970, obviously. Willie Mays, 101 behind him. And he is age 39. I believe he retired after his 1941 season. Age 41 season. And I just don't think he's going to get there. In fact, yeah, he finished with 660, right? I mean, I guess it's possible he could get, 47 more home runs. Hank Aaron's still going. He's 36 years old. And I don't know, in cavernous Oakland Coliseum, I don't know how many more home runs he'll get, but he might get a World Series out of it. Frank Robinson on the bench. Harmon Killebrew's on the bench. Al Kaline's on the bench. Orlando Cepeda crushing it for the Braves. 24 this year, and he's only 32 years old. So he could get into the top 15 before his career's over, I would think, fairly easily. All right. Don't really care about intentional walks. On base percentage, yeah, there's going to be nobody there. Ted Williams, almost 50%. That's crazy. Outfield assists. Roberto Clemente, that makes a lot of sense. Number 12 overall. OPS. Okay, so yeah, because we have a few power hitters from this era, Frank Robinson and Willie Mays is at 943. Hank Aaron, I suppose he's more likely to fall off this list eventually than he is to advance, considering the modern pitching and his aging. Plate appearances all-time, Ty Cobb. And there's Mays and Aaron. I mean, it's kind of a two-horse race. RBI, Babe Ruth, number 1 overall. Hank Aaron is already past Willie Mays. Did that happen this year? 33 RBI for Mays. Hank Aaron, 48. No. So he was already a little bit ahead of him. 33, it's 15. Yeah, so he was already ahead of him before the year started. And Frank Robinson, just on the list. How many more RBI will he get at age 34 and being a bench player? That's going to be tough. Okay, let's see runners thrown out. All-time best catchers. Nobody currently active is on that list. I bet you Bill Freehand gets there. Runner thrown out percentage. Oh, it's not even going to tally. Runs scored. Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Frank Robinson. All the things I've said before still apply. Sacrifice hits. I mean, that's not a thing. Okay. Sacrifice flies. Holy smokes. So Hank Aaron's got 96. Mays, Robinson, Kaline, Brooksy, Orlando Cepeda, Bill Mazeroski, Ron Santo, John Roseboro, Roberto Clemente, and Bill White on that list. So I'm assuming that was a stat they really just didn't compile. You can see they must have started in, well, Stan Musial. Well, that doesn't mean that's when they started, though, right? So probably around 1953 is maybe when they actually started. I'm not sure. Oh, well, let's find out. Let's just look. Like, for example, John Roseboro. Oh, it doesn't even have that option. All right. Game wins. All right, let's take a look here. Well, let's see salary. So right now, the highest paid player in the game is Dave McNally, Tommy John. It's all pitchers until you get to Yaz. Okay. Interesting. No, I don't care. Steals. Maury Wills is a free agent. He has 5'11". Luis Aparicio on the Royals, age 35, and he's in AAA, so he's pretty much done. Does not have much rating left. Lou Brock, of course, has a good chance. He's 31, and I believe he's still starting every day. Looks like it. 29 out of 30. That's incredible. All right. Let's see here. Strikeouts. Mickey Mantle. I bet you Reggie Jackson would finish up on that list sooner, like he would in real life. But yeah, a lot of the same players. There's a Woody Held, Bob Allison, Johnny Callison, Don Locke, Lou Brock. So as players become more free swingers, they're definitely going to move up that list. Okay. Triples, I guess. Nobody, yeah. I mean, triples. That's just not going to be a thing. Total bases. Al Kaline's on that list. walks. Willie Mays, the only representative that it's active. All right. So let's look at pitchers. We'll wrap it up. We're just kind of going in order, of course. Complete games. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you didn't complete your game back in the 1900s, it's probably because you had a heart attack on the mound. Let's see. ERA. Youch. Babe Ruth, number 13. All right. Yeah, I mean, what could you say? All right. Games pitched. Hoyt Wilhelm retired during our 69 season with 971. Ron Klein of Boston, he's in AAA, so he's not getting any. He got 20 games this year. He was bad. Lindy McDaniel is still pitching for the Yankees. 68 rating. He's not pitching particularly well, but they keep running him out there. Don McMahon, he's got 31 games. He's terrible, age 40, and under contract next year. And Al Worthington, AAA, 73 games last year in the sim. He's got a 66 rating. He's not going anywhere. Okay. Interesting. Let's see here. We did look at games played. Okay. Hank Aaron. And Willie Mays, of course. Okay, back to pitchers. Who has hit the most batters? Don Drysdale's 156. Jim Bunning, 151. Drysdale's hit none this year. See, I mean, that's exactly how you know this game blows. So hit by pitch is just random. Like your past hit by pitch stats have no bearing in that category anyway. Jim Bunning does have 3. Don Drysdale would hit his mother if he had to, with a pitch, not with you know what I mean. Okay, let's see here. Innings pitched. All right, Drysdale working his way up. Yeah, he was actually out of baseball by 1970. So his career was over, but he's still accumulating. And that's cool. That means he's going to move up the list. Jim Bunning moving up the list. I don't care about any of that. I really don't care about quality starts. But this is a very modern stat. So I think these are just quality starts with our players in the sim. And you can see that Nolan Ryan has the most quality starts since we started the sim. All right. Saves. This is a newer category. Hoyt Wilhelm retired with 199, and Roy Faith retired with 188. Stu Miller retired the year before with 153. So Dick Raditz, Al Worthington, Ron Paranowski, all Twins pitchers. Raditz has got 1 this year. Al Worthington is in AAA. He's got none. Paranowski has 3, although he's pitched terrible. So Paranowski might be able to get a few more. Ted Abernathy, John Wyatt. I'm always a little curious, like, is it a current closer that is on the list? Dick Hall. Frank Lindsay. I mean, he was a closer until we started our sim. Bob Locker. There's the Pilots card. Yeah, he's a closer for the Dodgers. That's a team you want to close for. Cool. So Bob Locker might move up the list. Well, these other ones are pretty much done. Saves. All right. Shutouts. Don Drysdale, 55. In the top 10, Bob Gibson with 44. Jim Bunning with 42. Nice. Okay, what else? Just starts. Career starts. Drysdale and Bunning. Bunning will pass Bob Friend and Burley Grimes. All right. Strikeouts pitched. Walter Johnson, number 1 overall. Will Don Drysdale get there? I mean, assuming the game doesn't throw him off a cliff. He's only 33 years old. He's already passed Jim Bunning, right? 54, 98. Yes. So he's actually passed Jim Bunning this year into second place. And I think it's very likely that Bunning will be the first modern pitcher to pass Walter Johnson in this game. Bob Gibson is number 15. Oh, yeah, and then here's our Camilo Pascual, who recently passed Eddie Plank, which is the whole reason I decided to do this, all-time leaders. And then he's probably going to get Lefty Grove. But by the time the season's over with, if he stays healthy, he won't get to early win. And then here's Juan Marichal and Jim Maloney. I mean, not even at 2,000. Like the top 25 is not even 2,000. That would be 10 seasons for a modern day pitcher. And you look how many seasons it took to get to these numbers. All right. Wins. And then I think we're done. So Don Drysdale's got 228 wins. He will get past Sad Sam. I don't know if he'll get to Whitey or Waite Hoyt or Mordecai Brown. I just don't know if that's realistic, but he's on the Dodgers anyway. So he could jump up quite a bit. I wish we could see who's after this. I mean, like we didn't see Jim Bunning on here. We don't see a lot of the players we just of the pitchers that we just saw. So that kind of makes me wonder. But there you go. There's the all-time league leaders for our sim. I think that's a little bit interesting. I hope you enjoyed that. Transactions. So we've already seen all of this. Okay. So I guess that's going to do it for this video. Now, as a reminder, we do have the All-Star Game coming up. That'll be fun. I have no idea which representative will be from the Pilots. I'm guessing maybe Darren Johnson, but I don't know. It could be Bill Robinson. He's at least up there in some of the categories, but there won't be any pitchers. That is for sure. And then at the end of the month, we have the trade deadline. So we'll have that trading video separately, which I think will be fun as we get rid of a lot of players, try to restock our AAA, and maybe getting rid of some of the good players will allow us to, sink a little bit and maybe get the first overall pick for next year. That would be fun. Okay, that's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching. Like and or subscribe to the channel. And we will be back tomorrow with the first game against the Indians. Until then, everyone, have a great day.